Hello everyone, as everyone requested, I'll be doing a detailed review of this phone, and I'll actually try to do a detailed review. So let me start with the form factor. This is the new touch and type kind of a device where we have a QWERTY keyboard and a touchscreen, which is the Android touchscreen. You see the capacitive buttons of an Android device. So this kind of a form factor has actually started off pretty well. Even Nokia has jumped in and has produced some touch and type devices which aren't that quite good. So let's go to the body of this phone. It is sleek, it's around 13 mm, has a very good QWERTY keyboard, but the backside is a fingerprint magnet. In fact, the whole body is a fingerprint magnet, and you get this thin white or a silverish line all along the body. On the right side of it you have the volume rocker, the camera button. On top you have the power on off button and the 3.5 mm standard jack and the USB or the charging cable port, mini USB. So let's get started with the phone. So this is an Android 2.3.4 Gingerbread on board. It has this phone has a 600 MHz processor with a 256 MB RAM and 500 MB ROM. So here we go. There you see different home screens. I have actually removed some of the widgets because it actually got slower and slower as I installed icons and widgets onto it. So the phone basically is an Android touch and type device. As you would see, the capacitive touchscreen is pretty good. It responds pretty well, I would say. And yeah, one more thing guys, it's a phone for 9,000 rupees, so you don't expect much from it. Let's just jump into the menu. This is pretty much standard menu. As you would see, let's just go to the settings and applications. Right. Let's just go to about phone, and here you see the Android version is 2.3.4. So this phone, the major problems that I found with this phone are the applications are actually installed onto the phone memory, which is a major problem because as you would see, I have very few applications installed and I have only, I don't know if you can focus on it, I have around 27 MB of phone memory free, and this is all I have installed. There are around 12 or 15 applications and all are basic like Facebook, Maps, Messenger. You have the benchmark test application, you have Skype, Twitter, Viber. So I cannot install more applications. I had installed Google Plus, which is around a 13 MB application, but I had to download it because the phone constantly showed low on memory. And one more thing is, when I go to home, this is what you get, a blank screen, and then the icons start to appear. It takes around 2 to 3 seconds, and if there are more than 2-3 applications running in the background, it'll take a lot more time. I have already stopped the Edge, the Wi-Fi and the GPS so that the phone works a little faster. Here you see, let me just switch on the Wi-Fi, the GPS and the sync, and I'll also switch on the Edge. So this actually makes the phone a lot slower. Now even in fact going into an application, and if you press the home button, the application even opens up pretty slowly, and if you go to home you'll get a blank screen and it'll take a lot more longer for the icons to appear. This is surely a major problem with this phone. The direct competitor to this phone is the LG Pro C6660, I guess. It has a 800 MHz processor with a 1500 mAh battery. This phone has a 600 MHz processor and a 1420 mAh battery. So that phone actually looks a little ugly. That's why I chose this over the LG Pro. So what next? Camera application. Camera application, as every other application, is pretty slow on this one. Like if I press it, it'll take 3 seconds for the camera application to actually open. Maybe a bit longer. So here you go. Here's the camera application, which is pretty basic, and the camera results aren't that good. So if you're looking for a good camera phone in this budget, I don't think you should go for this. But if you're looking for a good, nice Android touchscreen with QWERTY keyboard, this is the phone for you. The QWERTY keyboard actually feels really good. I mean, the response, it's, as you would see, the keys are little raised from the surface and are actually BlackBerry styled. The keyboard is exactly like the BlackBerry Bold, so it's really good. It's really easy to type on it. It's real fun to type on it, and I had no problems typing long emails or long SMSs on it. So if you're into just messaging, it's a pretty good phone. If you're not looking into installing more apps like games, I had actually thought of installing the Angry Birds on it, but then the phone slowed down. The major problem with this is the installed applications that actually, I don't know what's happening. So let me just go to the advanced task killer. Yes, if you can see, I have 5 applications running and I have around 30 MB of RAM free. So you will frequently have to go to this application and kill the applications, which would actually free up to 46-47 MB of RAM. So this is again a problem. So if there are more than 4-5 applications running, and which always do, like Facebook is always on, Twitter is always on, WhatsApp, Viber, these kind of applications are always running in the background, like Skype, Gmail, email. So the phone really does slow down a lot, and then you have to go to this application or task killer and end these applications quite frequently. So this is one major disadvantage with this phone. Another, the major problem that I already said is you cannot install more than, I guess, 15 applications onto the phone memory, and mostly the applications that you basically use for socializing, that is the Twitter, Facebook, you have WhatsApp, Skype, you have Viber, you have Gmail. They actually install to the phone memory and cannot be transferred from the phone memory to SD card. Let me just go to the settings and show you which applications are actually manage applications. So there are only 4 applications which I could transfer from the phone memory to the memory card. This is Skype, WebMessage, Compass, and App to SD Free, which is an application which allows you to transfer applications from the phone memory to the SD card. But not all of them have the options. Like if you go to FB, the option which says move to SD card cannot be pressed. It's not active. So same is the case with almost all the applications. So all the major applications that you actually use for socializing, which actually use the system resources like notifications and all, cannot be moved from the system, from the phone memory to the SD card. So now one thing that I was really impressed with is the battery of this phone. It is really good. If you go, let me show you, it still shows 40%, and I have been using it since 8 in the morning and it's around 2:30 right now. So I haven't put the phone down even one bit, and the battery did really last. Even yesterday it lasted a long time, and even today it still has 40% left. So the battery is a 1420 mAh battery. which actually would last you heavy use, a full day of heavy use. But there are a few problems, as I said, but all in all I'm quite happy with this device, because what I wanted was a messaging phone where I could actually use applications like WhatsApp, a simple SMS service, and Facebook. I wasn't looking into anything fancy, nor I was looking at a phone which had a higher camera or better memory or faster processor. So for a phone worth 9,000 rupees, it's really good. So if we compare the pros and cons of this phone, the pros would be the form factor, the touch and type device, the keyboard, which is really good, the ones that you get with the BlackBerry Bold, BlackBerry Bold 2 or BlackBerry Bold 3, and then the good looks. In this price range with this form factor, I guess this is the best looking phone out there. But it has some cons, like the slower processor and low phone memory. Low phone memory is the main problem, I guess, because the applications you need to install, since you have the Android market on board and you can actually surf through hundreds and thousands of applications, but you can only install a few. By few I mean really few. So that is one major problem in this phone. But if you're not looking for a phone where you want to install all the applications you get on the market, but are only looking for applications which you would eventually use, this is a nice phone. And the one important thing that comes in favor is the price, which is around 9,000 rupees. Even in fact something less than the 9,000 rupees. So I would suggest it for people who actually want a good QWERTY keyboard and a touchscreen. Thank you. If you have any questions, please free to ask. I'll reply in comments of this video. Thank you.